email me saying I'm depressed. Well, of course you're depressed, loser.
Yeah.
But that was your choice because you have to build yourself as a man, and if you decide not to build yourself, then your life's gonna suck. If you're in a room of people who only talk about money, you need to be around people who are about it. And the problem is with the people out here, everyone has a dream, but not many people have a plan. A dream and a plan are different things. When you say to guys, do you want to be rich? Yeah, I want to be rich. How will you get rich? One day, when the shit comes in, getting rich, you need a plan to get rich, right? Everyone out there has a dream, but very few people have a plan. If you're surrounded by people who have a plan to get rich, and you provide value to them in some way, because they're not going to drag you up if you ain't doing nothing, because that's what friendship is. Friendship is value exchange.
Yeah.
If you provide value to them, sooner or later you're going to begin to make money. We would then sit there over our coffee and analyze, how did this coffee shop make us give them our money? Because that's what's happened. We've given our money to this coffee shop. Why? Did we really want coffee? Where is it located? Is it a convenient location? Is it because, you know what, I could open up a coffee shop right next door to this fucking coffee shop. Change this, and murder this place. But people don't think about it. People just give their money away all day, and it never even crosses their mind about how they were convinced to give their money away.
Yeah.
You know? Because if you want to get rich, you're not the Federal Reserve. You can't create money from the sky. You need to convince other people to give you their money. So every time you give your money away, work out why.
Yep.
So you need to be surrounded by people who think this way. You need to adopt this attitude. I've always had it even when I was poor. You need to start to realize that the traditional methods of creating wealth, which are advertised to you, are a scam. The idea that you can just work really hard, save up, get a mortgage, and in 35 years pay the house off, and then you'll be rich. That's not real. That's what your parents did, right? The average cost of a house during your parents' era was like 4 times the wages or 5 times the yearly wage or something. Now it's completely out of control.
Yeah.
It's completely out of control. And patience is another thing I'll make a big point. Patience is a huge enemy to getting rich. Out of patience is what they tell the slaves to convince the slaves to keep being slaves. That's what it is. If I was in charge of the world, right, and I had a working class of slaves, which is what the working class is. I don't use that word slaves unironically, right? You're slaves, and I'll tell you why. If I can create something from thin air, and I can create unlimited amounts of it, and I can make you give up your life for this thing, you're my slave. If I can create dollars from thin air, unlimited amounts, and I can make you sacrifice your life.
Fiat currency.
That make you sacrifice your life for a tiny percentage of what I can create from thin air, you are my slave. Because even if you say no, I'll say I'll give you some more. Oh, okay. Oh, here's some more of the free thing I make. Here, go do it. Go clean the streets. You're a slave, right? So the slaves, what they do to keep the slaves being slaves is they advertise patience. Don't worry. Here's what you do. You go to school, you go to college, you work really hard. Don't worry. Your life's shit now, but in the future it'll be good. Don't worry. A good day's coming. You might retire with a 401k. Keep working. Keep going, slave. You can do it. Patience is how they trick you into keep being a slave.
Yeah.
I turned myself from no money to my first million in 2 years to 30 million 3 years later. That's how fast you can make money if you're about money. If you're about it, right? So I never believed in patience. You gotta forget the patience. You gotta forget the people who
Money loves speed, man.
Money loves speed.
Yeah.
You gotta forget the people who aren't about money around you. It's gotta be all you think about, all you talk about. You gotta start producing. You gotta start attracting attention one way or another. And if you do all those things, you will start to make some money. But this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So the rich who own the assets, the value of their assets increase. And the poor with no assets, the ability to buy one becomes harder and harder as days go on.
Yes.
Because it's so much more expensive compared to their wages. The rich are literally getting richer, and the poor are literally getting poorer in real time.
Yep.
You can see it happening. And it's about to be have-nots and have-yachts up in his mouth. And if you're on the wrong team, if you're on the wrong team, you're never going to escape. Yeah. These are some of the last years where a broke person can genuinely escape the matrix. You are running out of time.